Oh, gotta cue some music here. There we go. Get my monitor ready here. Upcoming. Okay. I'll say, I think that should be live. Check 1, 2. Maybe I'm premature here. Let's see. Check 1, 2. Check, check. Checkity check. All right, microphone's hooked up. All right, I think we're good. Gotta centralize the build station here a little bit. Feels good. It's getting adjusted here. Hope everybody can see that all right. Just kind of getting set up here a little bit. No, I'm talking to myself right now. It's all right. Now this is drying up nice. That feels good. Probably use a little more glue here. That's why you spray it down with alcohol first. Dirt. Don't want too much vegetation on this. During my break, I watched all the scenes from Utapau when Obi Wan Kenobi. I guess I could save this till somebody's actually in the chat. I can just think to myself right now. Just continuing working on the base here. These little tufts of grass are sticky, but this particular application, I want to keep them fixed to the situation. So I'm mainly using these as more or less kind of a way to break up the gaps a little bit. You know, some of the little cracks and stuff. I'm going to use some moss here too to break this up and have it kind of continue down. And I'm kind of just getting a feel for. I know what the rocks and everything in Utapau look like in the movie. But there's not a lot of structures to go on by, except what might be drawn or whatever in the lore. So I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. It's a little loud. Try a different playlist here. This will work. Okay. Hello to anybody watching right now. Thanks for stopping by. I think I like that as is. spray it down with a little bit of alcohol to remove the surface tension, and then apply some watered down white glue to get it to really stick on there. Let that dry. Feel like that might be a bad idea. Hey, Jen, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm back. Woohoo! Jazz hands. I'm just basically going around and covering up a few spots I don't like with some moss and shit, breaking stuff up a little bit. And I got a couple more spots I feel like I want to put some plants in, possibly. During my break, I was watching, I gotta turn this music down. During the break, I basically went back to Revenge of the Sith and watched a bunch of all the videos where Obi Wan's on Utapau, and went through and watched all that, and just to get a better feel for the scenery, as far as color scheme, plant life, all that shit, and it's pretty fucking sparse. Almost felt like more of like a desert planet. Light brown rocks everywhere. This stuff is super messy, but I feel like playing with it. You just kind of tear off pieces. The trippy part with this is that this is made for railroad, like 1/72nd scale or 1/71st scale. 1/72nd, I think, is what railroad is typically. So it's real tiny scale. Like, what do they call this? Foliage. This is foliage. But at this scale, it's moss. So yeah, the concrete really did do its job, actually. I'm very pleased with the texture I achieved with it. I mean, I'm just kind of assuming that this portion of the base is supposed to be like some concrete structure. I'm really trying to keep it real to the movie, I guess. I like the way that looks on there. Actually, that's a nice texture. I think this little spot's going to need a little super glue down here. Hopefully that doesn't melt this shit. There we go. I mean, if it melts it onto the base enough, that's cool. But yeah, that concrete terrain definitely did its job. I like the way it looks a lot. Keep getting snagged here. I almost feel like my glue needs to be more watered down, but I'm not mixing up a different batch. Part of my plan when I got into this build, well, one, I'm doing it for myself, and you know, if it does sell someday, cool. Everything's for sale for a price, right? Some would say. But I told myself I really wanted to push it on this build. Like, I'm gonna fucking go all out. So little things like this have become important to me. These little tiny details. The fun part is that I really have no idea where I'm gonna put it when I'm done with it. But it will reside in my office for a time. I feel like I want some moss crawling across this area here. No, I'm not just doing the corners. And no, that's a great suggestion. Thank you. I've got some spots along the edge. I want to keep it sparse too. I really don't want it everywhere. I almost feel like I'm overdoing it already, but I think I want to do a little bit right here, but real light, and maybe kind of coming up, but I want it creeping along this section here. Because you're going to be looking at it from this point. Typically, this is going to be the viewing. And so I want some grass crawling along here. What do you think of that? What's your thoughts? Suggestion? What do you see? Where does it want moss? I can use my finger and just point. You tell me when to stop. But I think there's some lag in our video, so I wouldn't. I'll probably keep going when you do say stop. Like this line right here is really bugging me. Like that, this needs to be covered up. I can have it come into this spot. I only say that because it ends up looking deliberate. Yeah, exactly. I don't want anything to look deliberate. That's why I have some, like right here, it's carrying off into the base. Right here, it's carrying off into the base. I need to do a little bit of that up here too. Not necessarily here, but back here, I've got these roots hanging down. Like this could be kind of an area where there's some plant life. Have it even spill over here. I don't know. And if you watch the movie, like even these little plants I have on here aren't really in it at all. But I'm kind of creating my own scene. I also, General Grievous's big spear fucking thing is supposed to be right here, and I mocked it up, and I don't like it. I think I'm going to leave it out. I don't find it necessary. He doesn't have to be that part of this story, So this is going to get covered up. heck, how am I going to do that? In fact, I'm going to cover that up right now so I don't forget it later. And I think the way I'm going to do that is just pour a little tiny bit of ballast in there. In this case, talus. I definitely agree with you, though. I don't want it to look deliberate, and that's what I'm working towards. Yeah, in between the corners. I agree. 100%. I think that's good on that. My fan's blowing too much. This is where I need some static grass. So I'm just going to make some myself. Oh, it's definitely getting staticky up here. Okay. I did see in the movie there was moss or what, like lichens or something growing here and there. Come on, stuff, stick. What's up, obsolete? Yes, it is huge. This is Obi Wan Rides Boga from a scene in Revenge of the Sith. If you're a Star Wars nerd like us, like myself, you'll know exactly what scene I'm talking about. And this is where he gets on a creature named Boga, who's a Varactyl on the planet of Utapau. And he's going after General Grievous. Good times. How's your night going there, Future? How's that looking? What do you think there, Jen? I feel like that's looking kind of cool. Yes, this is 1/6 scale. And here, just for fun, I'll show you where we're going with this. There's a lot more to it. You like it? Okay, cool. I'm glad you like it, Jen. I love the input. Absolutely love sharing the vision with others and getting tips and all that stuff. So thank you. All right, so check it out, future Jen. Show you where we're going with this. I don't even think that's going to get the whole thing on. There we go. So Boga, this is most of her body. Sits up here on here, and then this is her other arm. I'm going to very carefully get her to sit if I can. Be a good girl and sit for me, please. Thank you, girl. Thank you, Boga. All right. You need a little more. It's like a big fucking iguana. And this will most likely be the last thing I attach to the whole model. But I'm going to hold her up a little bit. But that's what we're looking at here. And then Obi Wan Kenobi sitting up here on the saddle. Yeah. Oh, you could say shit. This video is not made for children. But yeah, I can. There we go. It's pretty stable. Let's see how we're looking here on camera. So yeah. So I gotta still seal up all these gaps on her body and clean up all the holes, get her glued together, and then I'll be painting her head last, more than likely. And then, yeah. You want this one, Jen? I'll sell it to you. So yeah, it is definitely massive. I'll try to rotate, give you a different. I don't typically show my face on camera, but there we go. How's that looking? Yeah. So it's coming along slowly but surely. Tonight I plan on we're going to primer the base. So basically everything you're looking at here is not going to be these colors at all. It's not going to look like that. I'm going to be going over everything in black primer, and all the little antenna. This is going to have electronics in it along with a soundboard, and you'll push the little radar dish, and Obi Wan Kenobi's lightsaber will light up, and it's going to play the audio from the scene in the movie. And I'll have little blinky lights. Theoretically, I'm going to have little blinky lights and shit up here too. And I'm going to hide the speaker, I think, behind this and cut that out. So, yeah, pretty exciting. Just kind of a passion project. It's one of my favorite scenes from Revenge of the Sith and all of Star Wars. I just dug this creature the first time I saw the movie. Thought, wow, she's really cool. And then SW3D Studios, this is the largest 3D print file they've ever created, and by far the largest print I've ever done. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun. Been having a lot of fun building this thing. So, let me disassemble this portion a little bit. Right now, I have her feet attached to the model just so I know where everything rests that's touching the base, which gives me more direction on where I'm going to go with it. Yeah, so that's what that's all about. Now I can let me sit down and I'll catch up with comments real quick here. I know I missed a couple. So Jen says in between. Okay, Jen likes it. It's 1/6 scale. Watching hubby stuff. That's, dude, when I have time out, like when I'm not working in my studio or playing a video game in my office, I'm totally watching other people's hobby videos. I'll go up to my office after I finish a live stream and do all, put in any links that I need to in the descriptions. You know, if somebody wants product or curious about a product, you know, like this stuff, I'll put links in the descriptions. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I spend my own money on all this shit. Yeah. So Jennifer wants this so bad. No, I won't drop her again. I promise. I'm taking good care of her. I dropped this foot today. Can't tell where that broke. I mean, I can see it. The line's right here. But once it's painted and everything, you'll never know it was there. Never know it was there. And that's how her foot sits down into that. I gotta remember I got wet shit on here. Put this stuff away. Then I got this foot looking like she's crushing a little plant. But yeah, I'm kind of just going over and adding some moss and stuff where I think it needs it and where Jen thinks it needs it. Sounds like Jen wants to buy this model when I'm done with it someday. And if she does, I definitely got to make sure I don't drop it. You're probably going to want to plan a trip out to California, Jen, because there's no way I'm shipping this thing anywhere. Cost me like $500 just to ship it. So I'm going to need to use the heat gun like we did last time, Jen, to get these three toes really, to kind of bend down a little bit and compress into that spot. I had to cut the key out because one of the mistakes they made in the print was they didn't make the keys the right size. You can see the shape right here. That's the shape of the key, and it stuck out like this far. And the key that it keys into right here is tiny. And then they've even got another key right underneath her toe, and there's no key on the toe. So somebody, I think maybe they were in a rush to get it out or something, but they did something weird and didn't fix it. I don't know if they fixed it. I haven't gone back and looked at the file since then. I also have to remember some of these lines I don't like on the model, like in these corners. I can do other things with paint. I can make this like a big rusty spot, dripping ooze down or something. I don't know. But being that this is the front of the model, I definitely want to do something more here. Sorry, Jen. I kind of want to cover this corner up. I don't like it. It needs something. It needs more of the green stuff. Looks hand carved. That base is a print. Yeah, the base is a print. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was a question. Yeah. Well, I don't need to show you, but that's a section. That's a section. That's a section. At the time I printed this, I only have one printer. I own two printers now, but I had the Photon M7 Pro by Anycubic. That's what I used to print this entire model. It wasn't until after I finished printing this that I purchased my M7 Max. So I kind of missed the boat on getting this thing done a lot quicker. I could have printed larger parts, but I have gone back and looked at the file a couple of times, and they really didn't offer larger pieces or sections to print, to make it easy. I would have had to go in and make my own cuts and make my own keys. It would have been extremely time consuming to go and do all that. And I'm way too fucking busy for that kind of shit. So I want to just download the file and get to printing. How long was the total print time? I would have to go back and look at. I would have to go back and look at my print history on that machine, and I'm pretty sure I deleted a lot of it. But I know it took me about. I mean, I'll set a print up at night and then wake up in the morning. It's done. Pull it off, and and I have the next print ready to go. And then I slide that over and drop it into the slicer. Do another go at it. And I think I was printing for pretty much 3 weeks straight. And I only had 3 misprints through the whole thing. So if that doesn't tell you what kind of quality machine the Anycubic Photon Mono M7 Pro is, I don't know what would. I'm not sponsored by them either, but I am a fan of Anycubic machines. Not only because of this print, but everything else. No, it wasn't too bad, considering I was working the whole time and, come home from work, pull a print off, get run upstairs to the office, get another print set up. I can also tell you that it cost me 13 bottles of resin, and I just used the Anycubic standard gray resin. Again, keep it real simple. Yeah, drag and drop, pretty much. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Most of the time, except for this just most recent print I'm working on for a client, I typically I do automatic supports. I don't even waste my time doing messing around with supports and stuff like that. It's just I don't have a lot of time for it. I got a lot of time now. I'm on disability for the foreseeable future, so that's that. Just putting something down with a little higher viscosity. Sorry, lower viscosity, I should say, to get this moss to stick real quick and easy on here. And to get it to stick to me, of course, as well. Yeah, no, I mean, considering the size of this model, it wasn't too bad. I think I was one of the first 2 or 3 people that actually attempted to print the whole thing too, and do this model. I've only seen, I've only actually seen one other person online that has done this model or is working on it, and they have not finished it yet. It's a guy out of Canada, Dark Jedi Studio. Dude does really incredible work, and I've been really excited watching him do this build. He's way ahead of me as far as how far he's gotten on it. And he's doing a bang-up job on it. He's got most of Boga and Obi Wan Kenobi already painted and everything. It looks incredible. Really looking forward to seeing the rest of his work. But other than him and myself, I haven't seen anybody else doing this model. Yeah, totally. Gotta have the goo, man. Jen's cool like that too. my other subscriber friend in here. She's got a cool dirty job. She's a fellow artist. I'll let her volunteer any further information than that. So if you're a modeler, you know, if you're doing moss and shit, you want to give it a good spray down with some isopropyl alcohol to remove the surface tension. And then you can apply some white glue to the terrain. And you can see that the white glue, this is watered down glue, by the way, but it'll seep right in there and stick to whatever surface. Just helps it stick better. Spreads the glue around. Yeah, the base for me on this one was a little too, it just didn't have enough. It needed more. And so that's what I'm doing. Adding some shit. Adding some elements that I thought would be fun and make it pop more. And also to challenge myself. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be adding some electronics to this. And I've got the shit, some of it, most of it, I think. But the fun part is I have no idea how to do this stuff. I know what I know how to do it in the sense that, like, yeah, I know what people used to do it with. But I've never actually done it. So that'll be fun. You know, LED noodles to make a lightsaber light up. Stuff like that. Because when you push the button, Obi-Wan's lightsaber's going to light up. And the scene from the movie's the audio from the scene of the movie's going to play. And yeah, it's going to be cool. I've never done it, but I'm going to. Like I said, passion project, so kind of going all out. Going to have a lot of fun with this one. I feel like I need something in here, but I think what I'm going to do with that is some kind of wash. To make it look like there's liquid in there or something. Might even do like a really fine resin pour. Or I can just gloss coat whatever's in there. I don't want everything being flat. I want... It's got to be broken up a little bit here and there. I'm going to leave this alone. This is the back. I don't know, Jen, what do you think? What kind of goo should we coat this in? I don't... The more I'm looking at this... You attend the University of YouTube. Likewise, I'm a 15-year attendee of YouTube. I've only been 3D printing and painting stuff though for, well, I've been painting my whole life, drawing and painting my whole life. But I've only been doing this shit for, I got my first printer, I think, a year and a half ago. Maybe coming up on 2 years. I got an FDM printer, and then I went through 2 FDM printers. And then I sold my Cobra 2 Max, which I really wish I didn't sell that one, because now I keep coming across a lot of practical applications that I could use an FDM printer for. But oh well. And then I got my first resin printer. I think I got the Photon Pro. I could look it up on my Amazon purchases, but anyhow, I think I got that about a year ago. And I pulled the trigger on the Max just a couple of months ago. Haven't had it very long. I can actually, show you my printer setup here real quick. Letting some of this dry. So these are my 2 printers. Max is over here, and the M7 Pro. And then I've got, if you look in the back there, I can open the, well, there's a vent back there, and that's, excuse me, that's joined to this printer, in which case I have a ventilation fan inside to run all the fumes out. That's back there. And then that vent goes up and around. Well, right now it's sagging. I gotta hook it back up again. But then I have it vented out of my garage. So it keeps my garage pretty much, fume free. Don't want to breathe that shit all the time. This is the latest print. I had a print failure twice, same spot, changed all my settings. It still fucking failed. But I got my supports well enough to get everything to print. So, yay, success. Even though it was a failed success. Strange as that sounds. So that's the printer setup, and then typically my wife's car is parked in here, but I've got this project to work on. But this is the studio. And then that's my normal workbench, but this model's so big, I don't have the space to work on 90% of it, 99% of it. So here we are. Back at it. So, oops. That's a little studio tour. Oh, my shit got all turned around here. What is going on? There we go. Most of it's organized. I'm still going through. Thank you, by the way. I'm still going through my garage and getting things cleaned up. Eventually, I'm going to have black curtains, kind of like hospital curtains, kind of going over across. All that stuff will be covered up. So the light will be better in here. But tomorrow, typically when I work on this, I pack everything up at the end of the day after a session, and then my wife can park her car back in here, or I park her car back in here. Learn to solder mini LEDs. Yeah, I got to learn that. I mean, I know how to solder. I've done it before. I've just never messed around with like electrical components. So I just did like a basic little kit here. I got a couple LED noodles to play with. If you can see those. So a couple LED noodles to play with. They're obviously way too long for a lightsaber, but it gave me it helped me learn how they work. And then I've got some switches, and what are these? These are just some leads with capacitors in them to little nano LEDs. So you wire those up, and you got these little tiny nano LEDs that'll blink red and blue. And then this is the soundboard right here. So I plug that into my computer, and then I'm going to download the audio track from... I already have the track, but you download the audio track from whatever you're doing. And yeah. It's going to play the scene. It's going to be hidden somewhere back here, and it's going to play the audio from this scene in the movie. That's the plan. The fun part is that once I get all this together, I'm going to have to cut up from the bottom before I actually fully attach her body. I'm going to have to cut into the bottom of the base, route all the electronics, figure out where on the model I want the button to be, because there's going to be one place in the button. It might even be a rock. It's going to be hidden, though. But you push that button, and that's going to make everything go off. That's the plan. So anyways, what else we got here? Yeah. Oh, you run it in your laundry. That's a good idea. You know, I mean, at least it's somewhere. It's not going to. You guys aren't breathing that shit. There was no option for me for obvious reasons. My wife and myself actually would, you know, we didn't want that. We didn't want the resin printers in the house. And then my wife really didn't like the smell. It was actually permeating her car. She's really sensitive to smells. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to do something about that. So I bought the enclosure. I bought a second enclosure and realized, you know, I knew they were already rigged for venting, but I executed that. I was like, okay, well, we're going to vent it. So I figured out how to run a ducting system in the garage that would be flexible and allow the garage door to open while remaining attached to the vent. And it works. It works great. The garage can open and close, and the vent just rides with it. And, you know, yeah, it's cool. I'm very fortunate to have a space like this that I can work in, that's for sure. Okay. Jen, I keep looking at this, and I'm just not finding really anything else where I want to add anything. And I feel like that means it's time for primer. I know some of this stuff isn't dry yet, but the paint's just going to act as another adhesive. That's the word I'm looking for. What do you think, Jen? Should we primer? Yeah, I agree. That's kind of my thoughts on it. You know, like, doesn't matter how much prep you go through on something with a 3D print. You think you've sanded everything, you've gotten every little support bump out, whatever, and then you primer coat it to get it ready for paint, and then you find everything. You're like, fuck, I missed that, I missed this, I missed that. So yeah, I'm thinking I do want to send it. I'm thinking carefully about it too, because I have to measure myself and make sure that I'm not just excited to get to that point, because I've worked so much to get all this done. By the way, all this terrain you're seeing on here is it's this Dark Earth by AK, and then on this is the same line. It's their terrain paint by AK, and it's the concrete version, so it's just a finer grit. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That's my thoughts on it. And I'm making sure that I'm not just excited to get to paint it. I've only got 2 cans of matte black primer. I think I have 1 can of flat and 1 matte. I don't really care about that either way, because it's all getting painted over my way. I just need to get primer down on it. It's definitely getting a zenithal highlight, that's for sure. A volumetric highlight. It is definitely going to get that with the airbrush, because that's really going to make all this shit pop is once I start getting those highlights in. I already feel like this piece right here needs... I feel like that needs to be sanded down. Or shaped at least. No, that's too rough. I don't like that. I think I like this. Oh, bear with me here. I'll put a fresh bit on. Dremel here. Foot pedal. Come here. There we go. If you're going to Dremel, you got to have a foot pedal. Only way to fly. Well, okay, I guess that's where it wants to be. So these little bits, I get them on Amazon. It's like a little soft. Well, the best way to show you is just a new one. They're squishy. It's like I don't know. It's like a kind of a rough, spongy material. I don't really notice the difference between any of the bits. At this speed, to be honest, they all work the same to me, but they work really, really good at getting like support bumps off or like shaping delicate stuff, you know, like this toenail, you know, it's a slightly misprinted, and give her a real quick manicure here. So it shaped up that foot real quick on her toenail, and it left it smooth. You know, coat of paint over that. Doesn't look rough or anything like that. You know, stuff works great. I'll put the link in the description for these bits, actually. So I do get a lot of people that ask me about those. I learned about them, just to give proper credit where credit's due. I learned about those through Kenny over at Hobby Link International. And he learned them from somebody, I can't recall who he said he saw them, where he saw them or whatever, but they are fantastic. And that show you. This entire box of these bits was like $9. Ridiculously cheap. You burn through them pretty quick, though. I will say that they don't last long. You're gonna go through a lot of them, but that whole box was like $9. So you just burn through them and you don't give a shit. All right, I'm gonna put the plants away. Yeah, Jen, if you have a Dremel, I highly recommend those bits and a foot pedal. I can put a link in the description for the foot pedal too. Foot pedal's cheap. I think I got the foot pedal on Amazon for like, oh, I think it was like $15. It was ridiculously cheap. I'm just putting away some of my terrain stuff here because I don't think I'm going to need it right this moment. Building it up. We're building up to primer. Set Boga out of the way. I've got a table that I'm going to set up the base on for our primer coat. And then I'll be opening my garage door to vent it out and get the fan on. Don't want all that aerosolized paint fucking with us. All right. Put my iPad over there. Let's carefully get Lazy Susan out. Oh, what was that? All right. Move our roving operating table here. It's not too heavy. I don't think I really added too much weight to it at all. Bear with me, folks. Come on. Get these tripod legs down. This table's a little higher. There we go. Cool. I'm just moving some shit out of the way. Don't want too much overspray affecting things. I'm so excited. Oh, these are going to need to be stirred for a minute. That's going to hurt. Go. Turn my fan on low. Go. All right. I don't want my phone too close. There we go. All right. That's going to be primed separately. Kind of going over a mental checklist. Do you see one spot right here that needs some terrain? So I'm going to add that real quick, and then we can paint. I like that. That'll work. All right, time for some shaky shaky. Anybody know any good jokes? A little time to kill here. Make sure my fan's running the way it needs to. Good. Let's go with the flat black first. I don't know any jokes either, Jen. I'm not one of those dudes. I don't know jokes. God damn, where's the ball on this thing? I should be hearing a ball bearing rocking around in here. There it is. That fucker was stuck down there. I wish I had a shaker for these. I could use my Sawzall. You take a Sawzall blade on your Sawzall, right? And you take your paint and tape it around the Sawzall blade and then run your Sawzall. Really good way to shake up these aerosol cans. I am the shaker. And I don't like it. It fucking hurts. I have severe arthritis in both shoulders. My wrists aren't good either. They used to be. That's what I get for 30 years of skateboarding and martial arts. Pain. I'd fucking do it all over again too, even if I knew I was gonna be in this much pain in my adult life. I would absolutely, like, sign me up. Skateboarding? Fuck yes. All right. I think I have shaken as much as I can shake. Ow. Fuck, that hurt. Open up the garage. Good enough. All right. I need to get my chair so I can get down low. Oh, this is so cool. I've been waiting for this part. Let's do this. Where should we start? Jen, call it. Where's the first? What do we spray first? Where's it going? This side? Or should we do it lengthwise? Straight across the bow? What do you think? Where should we start? I'm gonna let you call it. I'll light a smoke while I'm waiting for your answer. Oh, I'm gonna open a new pack. I didn't realize it was out. Right there? It's like right in the middle. The wheel of paint. Yes. The bottom? Like around the rim? Like do the rim first? Give it a rim job? All right. I like that idea. I'm kind of standing in the light path, so I'm gonna need to turn this fan off, actually. Too much air blowing across the model. bottom to top. I like it. All right, here we go. Yay, paint. I was really curious about how this terrain was going to suck up paint. Great minds think alike, Jen. Bear with me. I gotta grab a glove. I don't like spraying without gloves. I don't need that shit getting on my skin. Getting ahead of myself here. All right. It looks like it's, it looks like it's holding the paint pretty well. It's definitely sucking it up, though. The bummer part about this is that I'm not going to get to play with it anymore tonight. But this is a big chapter for me to be at, so I'm really stoked. Give my hand a second here. Oops. It actually takes the paint. It actually takes the paint really well. Well, it's a good index finger workout, that's for sure. Gonna make sure I get all these little recesses so they don't show up. There's definitely a line right here. I can fix that in painting. Add add moss to it while I'm painting and shit. I think that's good. Yeah. Let's get that fan on. Aim it a little better. There we go. All right, let's shift this around a little closer to the light. I want to get a really good look at her. I mean, it looks shiny right now, but that'll dissipate as this paint dries, obviously. See a little bit of brown in the crater, but that's all right. It's going to be hidden by blast marks. Any of these little cracks and stuff, too. I'm going to be pouring washes all over this fucking thing to get into all those little cracks and crevices. It's going to look sick. I don't know if it's even going to need a second coat, though. I don't think so. I think it's going to be good right there. Ow. Excuse me. Ugh. Nope, no paint in my nose. That's good. Means the mask worked. Oh, thanks, Jen. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm stoked to get to this point. I'm not done tonight, though. I'm not done. I'm done. I think I'm done working on this model. But as I stated in the title, there may be a little Halloween-y stuff going on tonight. So I think that's what I'm going to do now. Because that sounds a lot more fun than watching paint dry. Oops, come here. So I'm just in the process of getting set up for that while we're watching paint dry. Wish I had a little motor. Well, I do have a little motorized turntable I could use, but no way to plug it in right here. It's all right. Move this out of frame as we're going to shift over to a different spot. All right. Get this shit out of the way here. Anybody got plans for Halloween parties or just staying home and treating the trick-or-treaters? That's what my wife and I are doing this year. We're going to just stay home and chill and spoil the kids. We're going to set up a little spot here in the garage, make it all spooky, get like, what do you call it? How in the hell did I get my light over there before? Trying to move my studio light back over. There we go. All right. So yeah, we're gonna make like a little haunted garage entrance, and we're gonna set up a little table. That very table that I was working on earlier, we're gonna set that up, and I got a smoke machine and a bunch of spooky lights and fun shit, and we're gonna have Halloween sounds playing and handing out candy. Awesome. It's so fun. My wife and I are gonna dress up as Jedi. I got the high end like fucking got like 4 of the Disney lightsabers, and so we're gonna put batteries in those things and light them up and have lightsaber fights outside with the neighbors. Is my mic going out when I walk away from the camera, Jen, or anyone? Just making sure I didn't jostle it. It comes loose pretty easily out of my phone jack. No, it's good. Okay, cool. Clean up these brushes a little bit. Get rid of that water. Gonna need a fresh cup. All right. Junk brushes. What to do with these? Yeah, throw them away. Don't need them anymore. I got new old brushes that I can turn into junk brushes. So I just got new brushes yesterday as well. Ordered another set of Famui brushes. Okay, just about ready to sit down here with all this shit. Start having some fun with the next project. Come here, buddy. I'm gonna have some fun with that guy. give him a quick little paint job. I kept those for a while, and I'll just show you here. Aside from like all the dry brushes and stuff in here, most of these brushes are all junk brushes. Those are all brushes I can use for other shit. The makeup brushes are all for dry brushing and stuff. So I got plenty. But those ones that I just tossed away, they lived their life. They lived a good, long, happy life. It was time to go. I still keep this ratty ass brush for needle cleaning on my airbrush. My airbrushes. Just getting some of these other parts put away so I can park the wife's car in the garage when I'm done. So Jen is a brush saver. I guess that makes sense. In your profession, you'd probably have more use for brushes like that. Once a brush gets to a certain point with me, like for example, I'm done doing terrain for the most part. I'm not gonna need another brush to work on that. You know, like I'm good to apply the terrain paint. So I was okay with letting those go. Oh yeah, these go up here. That can go there. Drill put away. And I just got to re-aim my fan, and I can sit down and start airbrushing. There we go. Okay. Oh, yeah. No, I know what you mean, Jen. Absolutely. And you probably work big most of the time, too. So those gnarly brushes, you know, they're gonna do great things working in large scales for sure. Oh, I can even put this stuff away. Where did my corrosion stuff go? I don't know where I put that at. I'm missing a can of something. And it ain't whoop ass. That was stupid. But I think it was funny too. Where did I put that shit? I must have knocked it over. I have another terrain paint can. It's corrosion stuff. And I'm not... Oh, God. Where is it? I'm not even stoned. That was funny. Where did you come from? You go up there. These are all my inks. It is under the head. I think you said that the second I finished, or the second I found it. Okay, airbrush time. Oh, let's just get a whole paper towel here. That's just gonna fuck with my OCD. It's so pretty. I love it. One of my favorite airbrushes by far. Okay. Feels good. Yeah, I know a lot of people um, let their airbrushes go. I don't know how much you spent on your airbrush, but this one was 200, I think. Yeah, 200. And then my CR Plus, my 2024 CR Plus, that one was 375. And then my Ultra, that's the cheapest airbrush I own now. I think I only paid 150 for that one. And I take I just like to take really good care of my airbrushes, mainly because when I start painting, I want to start fucking painting like right then and there, and I don't want any trouble. So when I'm done painting, we might even go over that tonight. When I'm done painting, I just have a routine that I do with my airbrush every single time. And yeah, this is the Squidmar Ultra. This one's nice. I don't even like fingerprints on my shit. You know, I typically clean those off. Um, this is the Ultra. Um, this one's really nice for doing big stuff. I'll probably be using this, in fact, to do the zenithal highlight, the volumetric highlight on the Obi Wan and Boga model. I use that. It's got a 0.4 millimeter nozzle on it all the time. And then my Infinity CR Plus has the 0.15 millimeter nozzle. So this one's for really fine detail shit. So it doesn't come out a lot. In fact, I need a new gasket kit for this one. It's kind of barely hanging on. Um, and it does feel like it needs to be re-cleaned again. And that's why I leave the tip protector on them in case I do something stupid like that. Keep that needle protected. But yeah, I like to take really good care of them. They're fucking expensive. And I like to open the box and it looks all pretty and shiny. Yeah. Cursory cleaned, yeah. I like all of it clean. I like to open the box and be like, whoa, you know, that's how I roll. Cool. All right. I think we're ready. Let's mix up some paint. Um, what am I going to use? You know what? I got this is what I'm going to use instead. This is really good paint highlighting. I don't want to use my expensive shit. Not for a zenithal highlight. And I think this bottle fits in my shaker. There. Does the trick. These bigger bottles, you just gotta hang on to it a little bit. Don't come out of there. Now I am not the shaker. Thank God. All right. I think that should be well mixed, I hope. Who else is in here tonight? Being shy. Well, it could be morning there, and you don't speak English too. I guess that is a possibility. I have to always remind myself of. Okay. So this is just super cheap U.S. art supply. There's my light. I got to run upstairs real quick. Bear with me. Well, I can't see shit. Good thing I know where everything is. I hope. Yep. Okay. I gotta run upstairs real quick. I'll be right back. Perfect fucking timing. God damn. Let there be light. Well, that was lame. Every once in a while, for no apparent reason, probably because I have way too much shit hooked up in my studio here. But every so often, are we still live? Everybody still with me? Checking my... Yeah, okay. Video still working? A lot of lag on my end, I think. It'll catch up shortly here, I think, when the whatchamafucking thing, my internet pod down here. Okay, both my printers are off. Printer is done printing, so that's good. Won't have any printing fuck ups. All right. Got air. Good. Okay. Oh, I know what I need. That's what's missing. How's the video, Jen? Everything up to speed and all that? Hopefully. Seems like my YouTube's working well. Okay. Yep. There's the compressor. It's got a good sized tank on it. So it usually takes a minute. It'll kick on a couple times, though. Got support bumps back here, but I don't care because this is just going to be a Halloween decoration pulled out once a year, and you won't be looking at that side anyways. Not trying to be all crazy on this. Yeah, it is a gourd. Not really worried. I'm not painting it to look like Jack Skellington, though. I mean, it's going to be painted to look like Jack Skellington, but it's still going to be orange, like a fucking pumpkin. It was a free model I found on Cults, I think. My wife thought it was cute. Yeah, texture, exactly. It's like a butthole or something. A shorn butthole. And yeah, thanks again, everyone. Jen, Obsolete, whatever your name is. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. It's been a fun print day. Earlier paint session was good times, or more of a build session. These are drain hole. It does look like a butthole, Mrs. Future. I mean, look at that. It's kind of vile. I mean, fuck. I think even a pastor would look at that and be like, yeah, that's a butthole. Pumpkin butthole. Pumpkin head butthole. And yeah, Future, whatever your name is. If you care to share your name, feel free to. My real name is Ron. I'm assuming you've figured out that Jennifer's name is Jennifer. All right. I think I'm good with that. Oops, sorry. Move that out of the way. Oh, I gotta get some music back on. So that was alcohol I sprayed in there. It just helps, kind of acts as a solvent. I use it in between colors to break down any paint left in there. And then I just use some distilled water in one of these bottles. Give it a quick rinse and dump. Backwash a little bit. I'm in my studio, so I can just dump shit out right on the ground because my studio is in my garage. And I use a dry brush to clean out my airbrushes because if you use a regular brush, the ferrule scrapes on the inside of the cup, and you get scratches on the inside of your cup, and then it's harder to clean because paint likes to collect in those fucking things. So that's why I use this, because then the ferrule only allows it to rub, it's wide, so it only ever allows it to cruise around the rim of the cup, and you don't risk scratching up the inside of your airbrush cup. That's why I do that. It's way too quiet in here. Music time. Now, orange. What's a good orange? I need a dark orange. I want like a reddish orange. Test it on the butthole. Yeah, I like that. I think I like that. I'll go with that. Try it out. We'll see how it looks. The stuff spray is really light or really dark, depending on how you want to play with it. This is a Magnadroth Flame by Citadel. It's a contrast paint. Okay. Music is much needed. Everybody still with me here? I know it's late where some of you are, so if you pass out, completely understandable. Jen is still here. All right. Okay. That's starting to take some shape here. Hey, what's up, Jody? Jody from Trek Mods is in. Well, I spent most of the day working on the Obi Wan Kenobi, and here let's catch you up to speed here. I spent most of the day working on the base for Obi Wan Kenobi Rides Boga, and we have primer coated it. So that's that. And yeah, it's coming along. I added some roots. Those will all get painted in. Added some little plants and stuff. Some more roots down here. That's really glary. Sorry. Some more roots hanging off of that. But yeah, that took all day getting all this to this point. Got all the terrain laid out, gaps filled, everything. So I've made some really good headway, and it's ready to start getting painted for the most part. So I'm pretty stoked on that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And then kind of like a little side project, my wife wanted me to do a little Halloweeny weenie thingy. So she picked this file. She thought this was cool, kind of a Jack Skellington type of thing. And so this is tonight's little side project, because this is more fun than watching paint dry. That's where we're at. How was your day, Jody? I know I missed your live stream earlier. So, guys, if you want to follow, I got to bring this up. Free plug for these guys. Jody from Trek Mods, as we're seeing here. He is with a group called Hobby Time Modelers, HTM, and it's a group of really fun dudes that just all have different but the same hobbies. Build models, scale models, Star Trek stuff, Star Wars stuff, all kinds of fun stuff. And it's just a bunch of cool cats hanging out and building. So if you don't know who Hobby Time Modelers are, I highly recommend checking out their channel. I have a lot of fun watching their stuff and hanging out with them when I'm not doing my own shit. Jody's been working on a really cool Star Wars ship I can't remember the name of. Airbrush is spitting a little bit. Oh wow, we got 8 people watching right now. That's a lot for me. I think we were talking about that the other night on your channel. Like, it's so weird how like one random video can just get thousands of visitors and views. I was doing one for Shay Vizsla. She's a Mandalorian character on Star Wars, and had over 5,000 people come and were watching it. I think the highest number I saw when I was working was there was like 300 or 400 people watching the channel at once. And that was trippy. And I think it was completely anomalous because it's the only time I've ever had that happen. But back on Hobby Time Modelers, I definitely recommend checking out their channel. Bunch of fun dudes building some really cool projects. Jody's been working on a really cool Star Wars one. Or Star Trek, my bad, Jody. Trek Mods, working on a super cool Star Trek, hence the name. Big Star Trek guy. Trek, if you want to remind me of the name or tell everybody what you're working on, feel free to. But yeah, if you want to see what Trek Mods and other people are working on, check out Hobby Time Modelers. Bunch of cool dudes. I got to figure out how to join you guys for some live streams sometime. Work on goofy projects and shit with you. Sorry for the compressor noise. got real quiet in here all of a sudden. Oh shit, it's Jody from Trek Mods. Run. What was that, Future? Oh, just watching. That's all right. Cleaning off my needle a little bit. I tend to listen to very chill music when I'm working. A lot of it because any a lot of the stuff I might listen to other than this, um, I could get copyright stuff. I've actually had a couple of videos removed for like more popular songs, but I also listen to a lot of really obscure shit, and it tends to be really mellow and pretty much never gets flagged by YouTube or anything. Um, so that's what I usually put on when I'm working. Next color. Thank you. I'm glad. That's kind of how I want. That's how I like my channel. I like it to be kind of. I mean, my channel's definitely kind of punk rock, but at the same time, I like it to be relaxing. My produced videos tend to be pretty mellow as well. I don't like to be all bish bam boom, you know, like coming at you like a spider monkey and shit. It's just not me. I don't think I've ever even opened this orange by Pro Acryl. It's the pricey shit. Well, that's a bright fucking orange. Wow. Hmm. Yeah, thank you again, Jen. I'm glad that you like that I'm glad my channel is relaxing for you. For anybody watching. I feel I'm feeling this as a first coat. Give her a good mix. This shaker is best shaker on the market, in my opinion. I've used a lot of paint shakers in my time, and this one's my favorite. You can take, I mean, you want to see how well of a job it does, like here's a paint that's pretty well separated. I haven't touched this in months, I think. We'll mix that up real quick. Doesn't look like it's moving very fast, but it's actually hauling ass. That's it. I mean, there's a little bit left down there. There go the lights. I fucking wouldn't be surprised, man. It's a random thing. I personally think that it's a bad relay. Our breaker's going bad. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to get that replaced. I'd like to have an electrician come down here and kind of go through my garage and reroute power and give me a couple extra outlets and everything. So that'll be in the works eventually as I upgrade things down here. From your neighbor's house. That's one way to do it. I don't think the neighbors in our in our neighborhood would be too pleased about that. I'll just state for fun YouTube shit. I do not own the rights to any of this music. So if you like what you hear, um, you do like I do. It's up to you. I own most of the music, uh, the files. I purchased this music from Pandora. I buy albums, and you could do the same. Artist you're listening to right now is Jose Gonzalez, and he is amazing. He's one of my favorite guitar players and artists. Does some really good, relaxing stuff. This motherfucker's spitting. I won't tell your neighbors. I won't tell your neighbors, future. Little Andrew Bird now. Getting some dry tip here. Where's my brush? I use one of these. I use one of these guys to clean my airbrush needle every so often. Every once in a while, you'll see me wipe it with my fingers too. The paint starts building up on the needle. think I just had a 20% battery notification, so this live stream will be wrapping up in probably about a half hour, I'm guessing. It's usually about how much time I have once I get that notification. And then I'm going to go upstairs and comfort my cat and let him know that daddy's home and that I never went anywhere and that everything's going to be okay. My cat Winston is a total daddy's boy. He's got a new little brother now, though, too. We adopted another kitten 2 weeks ago named Kevin. And he's just awesome. Such a great little cat. Kevin is a great name for a cat. I agree. That was the name he came with, too. It was like, I told my wife, like, we're not changing that. And she's like, oh, fuck no. It's perfect. And he's such a Kevin. And then I found out there's this, there's a Facebook group called Cats Named Kevin. I joined, of course. And I don't fucking join Facebook groups. But that one, yeah, I had to join. I'm a total cat guy, so. Give this a quick rinse. This is one of my favorite bands right now, called the Fleet Foxes. Fucking love these guys. Just brilliantly talented dudes. Go get the extension cord. Right on, Future. I'm just gonna call you Future until you feel comfortable giving your name. And if you don't, that's totally cool too. But yeah, man, thanks for hanging out, you guys. Have a great night. Much love to you and the wife. And yeah, happy 3D printing and happy painting, brother. Look forward to. I will probably be live streaming something tomorrow as well. So I'll be doing a lot of that coming up. I am on disability for the foreseeable future. So, yep. I think I got a clog going here. Hopefully I can blow that out. But yeah, you guys have a good night, man. Cheers. Alright, I think I got that clog cleared. Get some alcohol in here. One more coat. That works for me too, brother. Future it is. Always respect everyone's privacy. think we got that clog done, taken care of. I'll just run over it real quick with the highlight layer here. And I think we'll be calling it good for the night. My phone is almost out of batteries. And then there were 4. Trek Mods, you still with us, buddy? I know it's late where you're at too. I think you said. I think you're basically on East Coast time. If you're still here, I'll have to. I'll be checking out your live stream a little bit from today when I get back upstairs. This is a much brighter orange. Maybe Jody took. Oh, Jody, yeah, if you're still listening, yeah, the shaker is fantastic. I can send you the link for it, or I'll just post a link for it in the description of this live stream. One thing I decided I was going to do with my live streams from now on was kind of like post links in the description for my gear, as long as it's not, repetitive. If somebody comments or mentions a product that they think is cool looking or they want to try out, I'll post a link for it. Since you just posted that a while back, I will include a link in the description if you would like to get one. I think I paid about 20 USD for it, something like that. Oh, don't quote me on that though, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was a bit more than that. God damn it. I really got to clean this airbrush. All right, I'm about 10% here, so I'm going to wrap it up with this last bit. All right, I think we're looking pretty good though. Gonna add the stitches later, color in the, make these black, or kind of darken those up, and then blacken the eye sockets. I've got some Muso black to put in there, which is supposedly the darkest paint in the world, the blackest paint in the world. So yeah, made some good headway on that though. It looks cool. He is cute. I agree. I agree. I think he is cute. He looks much cuter now that he's got some color. Started off a little weird looking. Get this bad boy. I'm not gonna deep clean it tonight. I am tired. It's been a long day. Got some work done though. Really happy with that. I'll deep clean this airbrush in the morning though. At least get it initially cleaned. I'm glad you think he's cute. So Jen knows the drill. If in case anybody else doesn't know the drill, If my channel just suddenly, if this feed just suddenly cuts out, that means my phone is dead. And what that usually means is it's either the end of the day, end of the session, and I'll be back later. Um, but yeah, I don't keep my phone plugged in while I'm working, just because it reminds me when my phone dies and I'm done recording. It reminds me to get up, walk around, take a break, get something to eat, go hang out with my wife, especially take care of the cats, say hi to the dog, that shit. Unplug for a little while. Good night if it dies. Yes, good night if it dies. I'm just gonna keep going until it does. I got cleanup shit to do. But just fair warning, because there's three other people watching. In case they are new to watching my live streams or anything, or just hanging out for the first time, whatever. Now you know. And I usually like take a little airbrush cleaner. I just find that by taking super anal care of my airbrushes, I know they'll last a hell of a lot longer, especially the needles. The fucking needles for these things are like $60 a piece, just for their titanium needles, and they're expensive to replace. So if I take really good care of everything, keep it in its case, all that shit, I don't have problems. That one will get deep cleaned first thing in the morning when I get down here. First thing in the morning for me is like, I'll get to the studio by, maybe I'll be down here by like 10 a.m. my time, 12 at the latest. He's looking pretty cool. Need to darken in these little gaps here, and then I'll hand paint the stitching on. He's definitely going to have a wash. It needs a wash. I think it needs a wash. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to go too... I'll definitely do a wash on the stem, but I'm going to have to mask this up. Silly putty works fantastic, so I'll work around this with silly putty and then wrap the rest of it with some plastic wrap and to get it masked off really quick. And then I will do the stem, add these details, and call it good. Darken in the eyes. And it'll look cool, and it'll be something that my wife can take out every year for Halloween, put candles in it and stuff. It'll be cute. It'll be cute. And I just use a sponge to clean off my dry brushes. Kind of reconditions them too. Good enough. I don't care that my dry brushes get a little bit ratty. That just makes them work even better. Yeah, yep, that is expensive for a needle. Harder and Steenbeck, they use titanium for their needles. And the only time I've ever had to replace them, to be fair, is because I didn't have the needle protector on my airbrush tip, and literally made it fall just that far, and it capped the needle on my workbench, and that was that. I could buy replacement needles that are cheaper, um, but I just prefer not to. I've tried cheaper needles and they they fucking suck. Um, it's like once you buy a really high quality piece of equipment, like I've owned Iwata, Galeri, Posh, Badger, fuck. There's a couple other name brands I've owned over the years, and when I got into this hobby, I decided I was going to try harder in Steenbeck because I had no airbrushes. I sold all of mine, so I had to buy a new airbrush. I bought the Infinity CR Plus from them. It just went big. Got their one of the most expensive airbrushes. It had everything, 0.15 millimeter up to 0.40 millimeter nozzles. It was going to do everything for me. So I bought that, and I'll fucking never go back. But like, Harder and Steenbeck is just such an amazing, amazing brand of airbrush, and they're freaking gorgeous. That like, you can just tell looking at them that is a well engineered piece of equipment. You can have a VW Bug or you can buy a Ferrari. I bought the Ferrari, or the Lamborghini, as it were. This is my Lamborghini, really, of all my airbrushes. This one's my baby, and yeah, it's got that 0.15 millimeter needle in it right now. I use this for my fine line stuff. You were earlier when I said that, Jen. But yeah, um, highly, 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 highly recommend these airbrushes. They're fucking amazing. I've kind of recently looked at other airbrushes too, and I'm just like, I don't like it. You have a Bug? Oh, what year? I miss my Bug so bad. I had a 62, and it was like it was maroon. It was a dark maroon, like a brick red 62. Didn't have it all tricked out or anything. It was pretty well stock. Had the original rims and hubcaps on it. All original chrome, original paint job. The only thing I redid was the interior, and I had that done as close to stock as I could. 74 Super Beetle convertible. I was I was just talking to my wife. I pointed out a 73 to her, and she's like, "You don't," or she pointed out a 73 to me, and I was like, "That's a 73." And she's like, "Well, that's the year you were born." I'm like, "So it doesn't mean I like the Bug. That thing's water cooled." Like, I like the old school air cooled ones. Like, you got to fuck around with them and work on them more. But yours is stock, bitchin'. I'd love to see a picture of it. If you feel like sharing a picture of it, send it to my Instagram. I'm still a hardcore. I'm gonna own another Bug eventually. I want to get another 62 and put a rag top on it. My dream Bug is a 49 or a 1950 split window, but those are fucking impossible to find or get. Hey, Corey, you did miss a lot, dude. My phone's about to die. You're literally coming in at the end of the session. I'll try to bring you up to speed real quick. Here we are. We got primer, buddy. We got there. It's looking like a big old lump of fucking coal now. It's dried up very nicely. Got the roots all painted in there. Got moss added down here. That'll all get painted. Got the plants in. I know, dude. I was so stoked and excited to get paint